Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A former Box Elder police officer will spend years behind bars after pleading guilty to aggravated sexual abuse.
The U.S. Department of Justice says that 35-year-old Ricardo Olandez forced a young girl to have sex with him while he was living at Ellsworth Air Force Base in 2021. Olandez was sentenced to just over 13 years in federal prison, followed by 10 years of supervised release. South Dakota's first Senate impeachment trial begins in about 1 week. 35 senators will gather in Pierre to decide whether to convict Attorney General Jason Brownsburg on 2 articles of impeachment.
The 2-day trial starts at 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. A 2/3 majority of senators is required to convict Brownsburg and permanently remove him from the position he's currently suspended from.
A Canadian man riding his bicycle to raise awareness for kidney disease died in a crash north of Brookings. The South Dakota Highway Patrol says 53-year-old Jean-Pierre Petit was riding along I-29 last week when he was hit by a truck. At the time of the crash, he was riding to Kidney Springs Park by Hot Springs.
He suffered life-threatening injuries and was taken to a Sioux Falls hospital where he died on Monday. Charges are pending against the driver of the truck. Petit's granddaughter had a kidney transplant in March. He was also raising money for her medical costs. Turning to weather now with a first look at your morning forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Karsten. Some rain overnight and more on the way, Brian?
Yeah, just a few more showers to wrap up the morning. As we look at the radar review the last few hours, you can see those shower areas south and west of Sioux Falls, and clearly showing that. Really, though, diminishing here now after 7, and I do expect each and every hour this will continue to fizzle out. And in its wake, some of the rain totals, Sioux Falls Airport's at 1,200s, but I know Parkston has had over 4/10 of an inch, and Brookings now showing up at 3,100. So there are a few numbers that are a little bit higher. We'll run down the upcoming heat wave forecast. That's ahead in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Brian. A severe hailstorm caused everything from power outages to major property damage in parts of southwestern South Dakota. This was the case for people in Custer and Fall River County. One resident has a shattered windshield, which will be a costly fix.
The hail definitely got my back windshield and the front, but at least the front is still there. So,
to stay updated on serious storms in your area or any changing weather conditions, be sure to check out our KELOLAND weather app. Water in the Yellowstone River that flooded Yellowstone National Park could end up in the Missouri River and eventually South Dakota. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says the river gauges at Williston, North Dakota are the ones to watch to learn what the Yellowstone River's impact could be in South Dakota. The historic flooding at Yellowstone National Park may have left the sweeping landscape forever changed. Officials say more than 10,000 visitors were ordered out of the park as the flood swept away bridges and roads. So far, there have been no reports of injuries or deaths.
Wind and water erosion may have been affecting many fields across South Dakota this year. However, those who are practicing no-till and cover cropping saw significantly less soil loss or erosion.
And keeping the ground covered is paramount to really protecting the soil. And we keep the ground covered by stopping or very vastly reducing tillage and then growing a plant more of the season, not just during the summer months, but in the spring and the fall. And that's where those cover crops come in.
Bly says it will take centuries in some cases for farmers to recover from this year's loss of topsoil. The South Dakota State Fair won't be allowed to charge higher prices to get onto the grounds, at least not for this year's fair. A panel of state lawmakers blocked proposed increases. State Fair Commission wanted to raise daily admission prices to $10 for people 16 and older and $5 for kids. Instead, the cost will stay at $6 and $4. KELOLAND's Bob Mercer breaks down the discussion at Tuesday's meeting. That's on the Capitol News Bureau page right now.
The Sioux Falls City Council approved a resolution recognizing Pride Month. The resolution states the council does hereby recognize June as Pride Month. Many people in the community and beyond already recognize it, but the question Tuesday night was whether the Sioux Falls City Council would do so. 5 councilors supported the resolution. Rich McCorris, Sarah Cole, and Greg Neitzer did not. Sioux Falls Mayor Paul Tenhagen's office said in a statement to KELOLAND News that the mayor has issued a Pride Month proclamation each year. Marijuana Festival is coming to Rapid City later this month. Marijuana Summerfest will be a cannabis patient screening event from June 26th to the 29th. MyMarijuanaCards.com is hosting it. South Dakota residents who want to participate must register in advance.
If you enjoy Sioux Falls history, there's an open house you may want to check out today. The restoration of Tuthill House at Tuthill Park is now complete. The farmhouse dates back to the late 1800s. Today, it's an event space for weddings and other gatherings. To see all the work that's been done, just head to the house between 11 and 1 o'clock today.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, showers are exiting the area this morning. We are watching that process unfolding. Temperatures in the wake of this actually not in a bad range at all, but we do note the wind is kind of cranking up here in the north central and the northeast. 20 to 35 today, so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind too here as we watch those temperatures. Overall, Sioux Falls area still getting a little above 80 for a high. I do expect tonight mainly dry conditions. Temperatures are falling back to the 50s for most, but tomorrow morning, again, that wind out of the west and those westerly winds will help to warm those temperatures on Thursday. Widespread 80s. Beyond that, well, here's a sample of what's coming. Friday, 92 Rapid City. Look at Billings, Montana, 96. Remember all the cool, rainy weather they've been having out there in the west? Well, that's about to change here, at least going into the weekend. We've got a big surge of heat. Saturday, widespread 90s throughout the plains. There might even be a couple of 100s showing up. And if not Saturday, likely by Father's Day. Looking at Sunday, 97 Sioux Falls and 100s even in Fargo. So you know it's hot when North Dakota is in the 100s. And I think we're going to probably hold on to the heat through Monday. Then after that, maybe some slight reductions, but overall chances of rain also are going down. There's going to be a dry spell for a while. Maybe some of that rain by Monday, but even that's a ways off and certainly some room for that to change a little bit. Aberdeen looking at heat Saturday, Sunday, upper 90s, close to 100, so similar to Sioux Falls. I would expect Pierre to be in the 100s by Saturday, and that trend probably continues through Monday, and then we'll see if we can knock down the heat by day 7, with Rapid City probably first in line for that, starting as early as Monday, and there could be a few more thunderstorms in the Black Hills early next week. Check out the latest details with our weather online at KELOLAND.com, and have a great day.